Welcome back, everyone. Michael here with Offshore Citizen. Today I'm going to answer what might seem like a very simple question. However, it is a question that I feel like is important for context for a lot of people who kind of don't have a sense of it. And I'm going to deal a little bit with mechanics. I'm going to deal a little bit with the ethics. And this is the subject of what is citizenship by investment? How does it work? Okay. So before we do that, if you haven't already, please smash the subscribe button, nail the notification bell. Really appreciate your subscription, trying to grow the channel here. And we try to produce great content for you every day, so go and check it out. If you'd like help with citizenship by investment programs, or relocating abroad, paying lower taxes, setting up internationally, building international structures, banking, etc., please reach out to me. You can book a call, calendly.com/Michael-Rosmer, link in the description below, or you can check out our websites, offshorecitizen.net, offshorecapitalist.com, and you can send us a message through either of those. Okay. So what is citizenship by investment? So first of all, the interesting thing is most citizenship by investment is not by investment. It's actually by donation. Okay, so the term citizenship by investment, or CBI, refers to you're making some sort of a financial contribution and you are getting citizenship in the country as a result. Now, this is noteworthily different than residency by investment. So what some people might say is like, oh, Canada has citizenship by investment. No, Canada has, or has had at various times, a residency program where you can make an investment and become a resident. Likewise, they have EB-5 in the US. They have, lots of countries have it where you can make an investment and get a residency permit. This is very normal, right? Citizenship is restricted to, around like 12, 15 countries, depending on whether you're counting official, unofficial, things like this. And this is where, within a very short period of time, usually less than 6 months, you get their passport. This gives you the right to live there permanently, gives you the right typically to vote, gives you the right to access all their services, gives you the right to have visa-free travel. So basically everything that if you'd been born there, you get all of those same rights, okay? And so we talk lots on this channel. I've done reviews on a bunch of the different programs. I'll continue to do them. I'm gonna do some interviews with the head of some of the programs so we can get some perspectives from those people. And anyway, so countries that you can do this, there's 5 in the Caribbean: Grenada, Antigua and Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia and Dominica. There's Vanuatu in the South Pacific. There is Malta in the EU. There's Montenegro in kind of Europe, but not the EU. We've talked about North Macedonia is bringing in a program. There's some stuff in Jordan. There's some stuff in Egypt. Hungary has unofficial. Georgia has unofficial. Cambodia kind of has unofficial. So you've got kind of this, Ukraine has unofficial, so there's an array of different options here where they've done this. Some of them have had programs that they've closed down. For example, Moldova was doing something, and there's currently ideas of other places possibly offering it as well. And you can just ask, why would you do this? It's like, well, it's pretty simple, right? If you're a small country like St. Kitts and Nevis, what is your average income? Where does your money come from? You have very few resources here. You have tourism, okay? You can try and attract people that way. But it's really tough for your country. And if somebody can donate $150,000 to the government, I mean, that goes a long way. It's $150,000 is probably like 10 people's salary for a year kind of thing. It's actually probably more than that. I'd have to check the average income in St. Kitts. I'm not sure what it is off the top of my head. But like, this goes a long way for these countries. I was reading the other day, so Malta has raised like a couple $2 billion in doing this, which might not seem a lot when you're in the US and they're talking about trillions of dollars of stimulus, but when you're in a small country with, a little over 500,000 people and not a high GDP per capita, this is a lot of money. This goes a long ways to these places. And so I sometimes see people in the comments or see people make comments about like, oh, it's terrible that you have this. I think, like, why wouldn't you? Why, if you can say, hey, listen, like, what is the criteria under which you should let somebody come to your country? If you have something that is valuable to them and they're going to bring value to your country, this seems like a great idea to me, right? Just great. Like, hey, listen, it's like a product. I'm offering you something that's valuable to you. You're contributing to us. What's wrong with this? Why should it be that suddenly because somebody comes and lives in a country for 5 years, maybe really freeloads off the country, right? Let's be honest. A lot of people are really not contributing that much. Why should that person be more entitled than the person who comes and says, hey, listen, I'm going to skip that process, but I'm just going to contribute cash to your country. Okay, so it goes in 2 forms normally. The first is, hey, listen, I just make a donation. There's a bunch of other fees associated with it as well, the process and due diligence. They'll usually do criminal record checks on you and look at your background and your history and your family history and all this kind of stuff. But you make a donation or you make an investment. And typically that's a real estate investment. Sometimes it has to be in government-approved properties or projects. Sometimes it doesn't, as in the case of, say, Turkey. Sometimes there's a bond option. You can buy some sort of a bond, or you can buy shares in some sort of a project, but you're making an investment or a donation. Most cases it's a donation. Even in the cases where it's an investment, in almost all cases, Turkey is an exception. And maybe you could argue that the St. Kitts option, where you buy the expensive 400,000 plus properties, is an exception. Usually, really, there's a donation component because you're buying overvalued property. So your investment is, you're putting in more than it's really worth, right? So you're buying it at a markup, and so there is a form of donation that's built in there. So anyway, that's citizenship by investment. Like I said, you go through the process, you make a contribution, and you get a second passport quick. Why would people want this? Well, because number one, maybe they're an American and they want to renounce, they need a second citizenship. We got a bunch of people contacting us about that these days. Number two, maybe they want to expand their visa-free travel. So just imagine, like, you're born in Nigeria, you're born in India, you're born in one of these places. You don't have it's difficult for you to go to the EU, right? It's difficult for you to go to UK. It's difficult for you to go to a bunch of these places. And why? That's not because it was deserved. It's not like, oh, hey, listen, this person didn't work hard or did something wrong. No, they were just born in the wrong country, right? Super unjust. So if they have the opportunity to buy another passport and gain access, great. That's probably the number one reason I see people's ability to go and live, travel, work in other countries, and do that for their whole family. Often this is like a generational thing, right? You're giving your kids something better for the future. And third, some people might just want a plan B, right? They're like, hey, I'm concerned about what my country might do in the future. I'm concerned about what might happen. So I want a backup plan. So that is the third option. So yeah, you make a donation, you do an investment, you go through the process, and you get within, in some cases, as little as 1 to 2 months, citizenship, up to 6. Sometimes it's an accelerated program, like in Bulgaria, but that is how it works. So I hope that helps. Hope it fills you in a little bit. If you have any questions about it, or if you would like help with getting a citizenship by investment, if you're not sure which program is best for you, and you'd like help figuring that out, please reach out to us. Again, you can book a call with me, calendly.com/Michael-Rosmer, link in the description below, or you can check out our websites and send us a message, offshorecitizen.net, offshorecapitalist.com. I'm going to see you guys on the next video.